buddy, Jeff Coleus. It's just in the greenhouse. I actually took everything out. I got half of my Coleus out of my table here, and the other half in the greenhouse. I just brought everything out onto tables in some in a little sunny shady spot. Gonna go over everything. They really needed a good watering. Yesterday was pretty hot. With the fan going, it was like 120, 110 in there with the fan. Really hot. They don't like it that hot, and it really does stress them out. But a cool day like today, it's night and day. Today is like 70. It's really cool, nice breeze. They really start to perk up. So I'm gonna tackle some. I just gave them a good watering through. I make sure the water runs through the bottom of the pot. I got well-drained pots, so you don't have to worry about saturated soil, because they really need water at this point. When they're larger, they're root bound pretty much. The roots take over like a lot of the soil, so you want to make sure all of the roots are getting water. Try not to cycle your Coleus if they're potted where they completely dry out. It's not good. It's not a good cycle. It tends to turn into a sick, unhealthy Coleus. So it's hard. I know we all have work and life and everything, chores to do, but try to, with the rain we've had is pretty good, but these were in the greenhouse. I watered them yesterday, but sometimes they need a good watering through to make sure all of the roots, especially the big pots I'm going to show you, especially the big pots, they need to be watered through. So, all right, so I'm going to trim a couple of Coleus, show you some of them that need to be trimmed again. If you're following along, how much trimming and so forth. You don't want to over trim either, especially if it's an overwintered Coleus, it's older. You don't want to like really cut it down crazy. But anyway, let's get to it. We'll show you a little bit of trimming today. Okay, so this actually was pretty dry. I mean, not dry, but it was sitting in the sun, and it was really drooping. So I knew it needed a drink, but it really needs to. I did cut a little bit. It does need some trimming. You can see some down here. It really just like, there's no right or wrong. Again, I always go back to Bob Ross. It's your plant, natural. There's no correct way, but I always say, just think of this as your sculpture. You look at it kind of lopsided over here. You got some undergrowth. There may be a branch that's broken down here. Always look out for that. You move plants, you pick them up, you move them. You may break a stem not knowing, and then you're wondering, hey, what is that? It looks terrible, and it turns out it's partially broken or broken. So just trim it. But these really go nuts, and trimming it will really fill it in even more. So you kind of look back, step back. I mean, they're beautiful when they're nice and full like this, and again, it's your plant. But step back and trimming, sculpt it. It's your sculpture. Sculpt it, and it'll always pay you back. You'll always have a nice full plant, even if you do cut it down. So we're going to give this a little bit of a haircut right now. Okay, so here you are. Oh, let me go get my scissors. Okay, so again, first thing I kind of do is I look around, see if there's any older, sickly looking leaves. I mean, this is these are small leaves. There's a lot of them, so I'm not going to go nuts. Just in general, just look around, see if there's anything that catches my eye. So, but at this point now, we got all this down on the bottom. I mean, it's really overgrown here. Now this would have been a perfect hanging basket, but I just put it in this pot. There was no real rhyme or reason for it, but. And again, this trimming is just gonna bounce back. Sometimes you kind of you feel like you overdid it, but no worries with that. You got a lot of like kind of small undergrowth coming in here. At this point, I'm just sculpting it. It's like being a barber, I guess. looking around. This is kind of hanging out here. Again, this is because we're so early in the season. This is going to really bounce back. There's a lot of stems down here. Back here. So I'm just going to kind of go around. I mean, also this has been sort of facing the sun, so I'm just going to kind of, I can see where the new, it's kind of growing, and I don't want it too tall either. I know it kind of looks like I'm really butchering it, but this is really opening it up. Now this spot, this side especially, I think what I'm going to do now is kind of make sure this gets more sun on this side. I haven't rotated this around, I guess, pretty much, but that's about it. You know, I don't want to overdo it, but believe me, there's so much growth coming in. There's so much to this plant. This is a pretty complex plant. So we gave a good trim here. Again, argue I can maybe trim some of that a little bit. So you get the idea. And then after this, we'll let, you know, fill it in. And next time I mean, this is going to keep growing pretty tall, so I'm always going to top it off. Always going to be trimming the top. A lot of the new growth is coming in up top, but it's really giving it underneath a lot of chance to really fill in. So again, it's your plant, it's your sculpture. Don't be afraid, and even if you feel like you overdid it, and I've done that before, it'll come back. It will come back. Here's some ratty looking. I mean, this is really like a haircut, and you know, I can really even go through and fine tune it to really look, you know, a combination of the health and what it looks, aesthetics. But that's good. I think we're going to keep it that way and move on to our other plants. I just took out my some of the smaller Coleus. That's a beautiful, beautiful. I mean, this here I'm going to sell as a smaller plant, but whoever buys this can actually put it into a larger planter. This is more like a crimson gold, and put that in. You put something like this. It's got really pretty, fairly large leaves. Will overgrow a pot like this pretty quick, but it's an easy pot for me to sell. Somebody want something small to grab, and it's up to them what they want to do with it. So here you go, some other ones. That one's doing pretty well. And again, I have some of those little porcelain ones that I created. These needed to come out, get a good, I actually took a fork and kind of fluffed the soil up a little bit, added a little bit of time release fertilizer, and add a little bit of soil. Also some potting mixture. Some of it kind of got matted down from watering and stuff, because these are very small planters. And I did trim a few of these, you can see. I sold a few. I got how many here? 2, 3, is that 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I sold about 8. So, but they needed to be trimmed a little bit underneath, and just maintenance of the soil. I kind of fluffed up the soil, put a little bit of, sprinkled a little time release fertilizer, gave them a good watering through, give them some indirect. It's kind of a hazy, sunny day, so we're not getting real harsh sun, but they definitely need, I know they're in the greenhouse, but I like to bring them outside. Hey, these Windows box planters are really starting to fill out, especially this one here, but we need to get rid of that. I'm not going to do a lot to this one. Can really argue these here. I'm going to get rid of these 2 top heavy ones here. And that's it on that. I'm not really going to mess with those two. So they're filling in quite nicely. Oh, by the way, if you're checking in, Mama Rabbit, she was just here, but she's still around. She's probably moving around hiding. She gets a little nervous when I come out of here, but I think she knows that we're here to help. Here's our nest. My wife put a little thing of water out for her. But there's the nest. And she's all right. I'm sure she'll show before I'm finished with the video here. I hate to really disturb her, but hold on here. Where are we? Here we go. She kind of hangs out with the fake. She probably doesn't know what that is, but I'm sure. Who knows? But that's Mama. Here you are, Mama. See, I'm a little closer to the nest, so I'm gonna get away. Don't want to upset her. Okay, so here we are. I'm out. You know, I'm really behind. Honestly, if I look back at all the years I've done this, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna keep hitting myself over the head. I mean, what happened. I got sick, and I didn't grow again, if you're new here, I didn't grow as many as I did last year, and I started really late. So I'm at least a month behind. So at this point last year, I think, or the years before, my Coleus were really full. All of them were full. You know, some of these are rhododendron gardens too that I got late. But some are doing pretty well. And I'm just really going through. I did trim these last week, so I'm just going over a handful of them here. At this point, something like this here, I mean, this is such a beautiful color, but you know what, it really needs to go. That one, the leaves I trimmed, it really looked like it was dying. It wasn't doing well at all. Honestly, I think it might have been something with the soil I had a problem with. I don't know. But anyway, it seems to be coming back. But again, I'm so far behind. But again, I trimmed. These were in the greenhouse. These are the ones that are in the greenhouse. So yesterday was kind of a harsh day for them. Again, even with the fan going, it was hovering between 90 and 100. It was about 94 degrees outside here. So it was really, with the fan going, I managed to get it to around, 100. But the fan was moving. So, but got all this growth coming in. As you see, I just watered them. So. Now my farmer's market starts not this the 26th, so I still have another week in it. Another week, 10 days, 12 days, almost 2 weeks. So can you argue this one here needs to be trimmed here? Much as I hate to do it, and what I do is I normally take the first. Then 2 new sets coming up top here. It's hard to do when I'm filming, but you get the idea. I got that undergrowth coming in. This one I trimmed already, had a lot of larger leaves, and we're just letting it fill in. But again, the weather's been kind of crazy this year too. It's been cool, then we got a couple of hot days, real hot days, and then back to cool. Now it's 70. See, these are they're kind of white here. These really need to be trimmed. I mean, this is really way behind. Again, these are the wizard roses, and they just grow so slow. They're so temperamental, but beautiful. So there's another real slow poke, the little Rambler. space cake overseas, but very, very slow. Very slow. Coming in, we're going to get rid of this. We don't need these green here. Obviously, I'm not going to be, I doubt I'll be selling these, a lot of these, at the farmer's market. They're not going to be ready yet. Perhaps, depends. But again, trimming is going to accelerate that. If I just did nothing, it would take even longer. But some, you know, things, pots like this here. Here we go, that needs to go. There's a little insect. Had a little snack, I guess. I'm going to take that one because it's kind of evading. Got that one down there. See, it's kind of got a hole and it's touching the ground, the soil. We go crazy. And that's about it. It's a nice full plant. Black cherries. Another one. They're beautiful, but very slow to grow. Really slow. So that one there, it's kind of worn. It's an older leaf. Get rid of that. Get rid of that bottom. Both sides, I think. See, that's touching the soil. And that one there. Beautiful. These mosaic do pretty well. They can handle the sun, but they really wilt. That's a nice mix of colossal crimson gold and a jitters. It's another nice one. This one here, the leaf, I can see a leaf that needs to be trimmed. This one kind of doesn't look that great, a little deformed. And this down here definitely needs to go. We have all that other beautiful growth coming in. So let's get rid of this here. I know it's like, no, what are you doing? But this the time is another one that's sort of deformed. Both of them. It's kind of weird. Curious to see if the ones that grow in are the same. Deformed. Might be just this plant moving in on its territory. Give it some room. Again, there's a ripped leaf. So this is like a combination of trimming to get it growing and maintenance trimming. I'll actually top that off here. And well, that's too, I don't know, that's kind of nice. You know, I kind of draw the line sometimes. I'm like, you know, that's beautiful. This one here, I'm not going to really mess with. This isn't all that jazz. I got this in Rosy Dawn. This is for me. This is my own. But again, it's growing. It's just slow growing. Very, very dense foliage. So I just kind of make sure, because everything's kind of hanging down into the soil, it can tend to create problems with it. So just keep track of that. Make sure you don't have a lot touching the soil. You see, I kind of went through it already. Anything dead down here. And I get to a point, I did trim the top here, keep it at a decent height, and eventually this will fill in. Again, I'm so behind, but I'll just chalk it up as one of those things. Over 10 years it happened. So there's one there. I think we just trimmed this, no? Or no? No, here we go. Okay. And that looks kind of tattered. And that one there, let's see. I don't know. But you get the idea. Just kind of go through your plants. First thing I do initially, go over everything. Anything ripped, torn, worn, old looking. See kind of that one there. I just don't, you know what I'm going to do is this. You could do this too. If you don't want to cut the whole leaf. It's not my best work, folks, with the cameraman gone. So you could do that. Just just go over your plants, anything worn, torn, old looking. Again, that was one that had 2 in there, and it died, so we'll just let that develop. Again, these will be ready to go in mid-July. So I do my farmers market through the first week of September sometimes. Most of the time I'm done by mid-August, early August, but this year I'll probably go later August, as long as there's people want to buy Coleus. But again, these will be a lot larger, so stay tuned, watch out as we go along. Here's one perfect example. These need to be trimmed off. They're just sick, old. Again, these wizards, they're beautiful, but they can be a little challenging to grow. So if you're just starting out, as beautiful as they are, I get them, but I don't get discouraged if you grow them and they don't make it. They're like a Persian cat. They need a lot of attention. So by all means, get them if you like them, but don't base your Coleus experience on, or your abilities on these, because I've been doing this how many years and I still have a tough time with them. Kongs are really easy. Lime sprites, Kong red, Kong rose, as opposed to wizard rose. That's a different Kong. Kong rose, Kong reds, great Coleus. Scarlet Kongs, those are great Coleus to start off with. Jitters, Coleus seeds. If you're going to go seeds, that's the seeds that I sell in fall when I do my listing. Crimson Golds, Defiance, Scarlets, mostly Scarlets. Scarlets, all the larger Kongs. They're easy to grow and satisfying, and you get a good outcome. They're not terribly hard to maintain. That's why I like to sell those on my eBay listing, which I'll have starting this October. So go over maintenance, then trim, sculpt, and get your watering going. Fertilizer, don't over fertilize. Don't let your pots don't cycle. Don't let your pots, just summarizing, don't let your pots completely dry out. Avoid that cycle. It happens once, twice here or there, it's all right, but try to not let your pots completely dry out. So that's pretty cool. All right, everybody, hope that helps out. I know we're hitting trimming. I'm doing a lot of trimming, but this is the time to do it early on to get your Coleus growing. So we're just doing the basics: maintenance trimming, growth trimming, watering, fertilizer, finding the sweet spot in your yard if you have pots, which are usually a spot that gets sun in the morning or in the afternoon, not necessarily direct sun, or getting to know your pots through experience. Some pots, some Coleus do better with a lot more sun than others. Some may change their colors like a fishnet stockings. Some may get darker with more sun. So that's something that you get through experience and so forth. So, all right, so thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. More to come here. Jim's Holiest of Coleus.